welcome to the crack of dawn. It's Dawn Lombardi, and we are waiting for guests. So, what we decided is I'm going to paint some sunflowers. Yep, tonight. Thanks so much for having us, tuning in, Nutmeg TV, and my director tonight, Owen, thank you so much. We are going to paint these sunflowers while we're waiting for them, and it's going to be Elena Champa and her son, Cy, and his last name's Dostal. They're going to come in, put their keyboard, and Cy's going to sing some, you know, when you go to breweries and stuff lately, there's a lot of live music. People were sick of the COVID, and now everybody's out. You feel like you're in fresh air, and it's a lot of fun. So I thought, since it's spring and everything, I've got a palette here. We're going to do the sunflowers. I've got a dark yellow, a light yellow, a white, an orange, and a brown. And I saw this on YouTube, believe it or not, or one of those things. And sometimes, you know, sometimes you might watch me and be like, oh, God, I can't do that. Or sometimes you might be like, I'm better than she is, and it's fine, okay? Because I'm just learning along too. But sometimes I'll see those videos and people make it look so easy. So according to this particular artist, he would take like two colors, like an orange and a yellow, and keep it on the brush at the same time. So half of my brush is orange, half is yellow. And then he would kind of dip it in and kind of turn it like this. And I thought it was pretty cool. So that's kind of what I'm doing. Make sure you have a lot of water here, okay, so that you can spread your paint more easily. Okay, it's May 1st today, so we're so excited for that. It's been raining for like 7 days straight. I've been freezing. And I told people at work, they're like, oh God, I turn on the heat. I'm like, I don't. I keep a blow dryer next to my bed, and I just throw it under the covers. I know I could start a fire and it's scary, but you know, I put it under the covers, and I just puff the whole thing up just for a second or two, you know, and then you're warm again, and that's it. No turning on the heat. So we're waiting for our guests. They might bang on the back door, and that would be kind of funny if they do. Cy just graduated from where I went to high school, Northampton High, and Elena did not, but her husband and I were in band together, and it's funny that they're musicians. I'm not. I wasn't that great, actually, but my mom really wanted me to play the piano and stuff, so I played till about 7th grade, and then I realized that, like, they didn't diagnose you with things back then, you know what I'm talking about, but they just didn't. So I don't know what I had. Maybe I have an idea of what I had, but I just couldn't put the two hands together. So I would practice. If you've ever done piano before, if you've ever done it, you practice with one hand first, then the other, you separate them, and then you put them together, and putting them together, you know, it just didn't work for me. So after this, we are gonna do some leaves, and they're a different kind of leaf. And behind me, they do a lot of cooking shows, and they have a lot of fake plants. I don't like plants, in the house anyway. You know, I don't care what anybody says. Things start flying around, there's bugs. Oh, it's not because of the plants. It's like, well, you know, they're living things. So yes, it is because of the plants. But I did find a leaf that dropped down. I put it over here, but I guess I'll get it later. But it's very similar to a sunflower leaf, okay? We were just saying that our director, his grandfather painted. And don't forget your paper towels. They're really important, especially if you kind of get it all over the brush. You don't want to get it on your clothes. People always think you need an apron and all this stuff, and you know, I really don't, and I'm not that neat of a person, but I usually don't get this stuff on my clothes. So anyway, Cy, her son, went to Northampton High, where I went. Great place to grow up. Still very great place. They live there now. Elena, who's his mom, she bought this, basically like an Airstreamer on wheels, and then it landed in her backyard, and it's a music studio. And I don't want to embarrass her and ask her how much it costs, but I already looked it all up, and she's not going to know by the time she gets here. But she is going to watch it on YouTube. Sorry. I have no idea, but I would love one to do my art. And I could probably do mine out of a shed, but she's making noise. I'm not really making noise, you know, unless I'm listening to music. But she's making music, so she can't drive the neighbors crazy. And then Cy, obviously, is getting into it. It's really cool. Her husband is an eye doctor, so Cy's dad, who's coming, you know, Cy's coming on tonight. And he's apparently supposed to be practicing a song called Sunflower on his way down here. That's what she said. So that'll be really cool, really fun to have them on. And then, yeah, try stuff like this. I don't think this is going to come off that bad. I kind of like it. Remember, you're going to want to have different colors of yellows and oranges and stuff, because if you have the same color, it doesn't show depth. So remember, when people paint with a flat color, meaning all the leaves would be the same color yellow, you don't want that. So that's why this YouTube person was putting different colors and globbing on the paint, which is a lot of fun here. And one day we're going to ask Owen's grandfather to come on, because he probably will. You know what I mean? And he might be better than me, because apparently he sold stuff and did stuff like that. You know, you never know. So it's kind of fun. It's spring. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm trying to think of what I'm going to do this summer, because I really want to work at the Friendship Camp in Hartford again. I love that thing. I bring it to work and I say, how do you make purple? And they're like, green and orange. And I'm like, no. So we don't hit that button and they win nothing. But if they guess that purple is red and blue, then yes, you win a prize. So it's a lot of fun back to elementary school. I'm having a good time. What else was I going to say? So exciting. I hope this comes out nice. I really don't know what I'm doing here, because I've never really painted sunflowers. I've probably done a copy maybe of the Van Gogh one. In the background here, I have two different colored greens. One's very neon and the other one's very dark. And what the guy did on YouTube is he did the same thing as what he did with the yellows. So he globbed on the paint. Okay, and I'm not looking at the video right now, but I was. Not while I was driving. So I'm going to do both colors, because that's what happened on the thing. And he kind of did something like this. It was kind of weird. I don't know if it's going to work. I'm trying it, okay? I don't know. I might have to turn on the video again, but it was different, definitely not the same color green. And it was in between the sunflowers. So, you know, I'm going to go with that. And then by the time they get here, this episode is going to switch. And then all of this will be dry. And if you see what I mean, with acrylic paint, they'll get here. We'll mic them up for the next episode. So excited to have you on, them on. And so excited you're tuning in. But again, it won't look like this. Hopefully it's going to progress. So that's what I'm trying to do here. I might change my color greens a little by the time you get back, but I am trying to, you know, make it a little bit different. And by globbing on the paint, you can see, I don't know what's going to happen here, but maybe it'll kind of look more like leaves. So I know I don't want the same color green, not for all the leaves. I want different colors. And we're going to try here, going in and out like this. Again, you can look at videos. You can also put a vase of sunflowers in front of you, like the old masters did, like I do, and probably like I should have. But sometimes you can. You can look online and see a lot of really interesting stuff. Remember, the more water that you add, the more paint you're going to be able to spread. So if you don't want to waste paint, or you don't like a lot of globs on your painting, I'm a glob person, to tell you the truth. I think it looks great. You know, I love how it looks. The darker green is going to be more towards the inside of the flower, like here, okay, because it doesn't get as much sun. And I have different brushes too. I know this one looks very large, and it is. But I'm going to put in some green. I can always go over with the yellow later if I want to. And I'm also going to put that line that goes down the leaf so that you can see that it has the middle to it. You know, and we have a ton of time. I always say to the kids at school, they're like, oh, how much time do we have? And I'm like, tons. How many minutes? 7. 7 minutes. I'm like, it's a ton of time. Trust me. It's a lot of time. So again, I don't want all leaves. Remember to paint off the side of the canvas, and I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. Okay? If you paint off the side of the canvas like this, then you do not need a frame. Okay? And it actually looks better, is what I think. So remember to paint off of the canvas, all on the tops, everything really. You know, and we probably have 10 minutes left. You know, I know Owen's going to come out and be like, we have 5 minutes. He might say 7. He might say 10. He might say 20. I mean, time just flies when you're having fun. I did go to, you know, I hate to say this, but I have to. Okay, so for 16 years, I've been getting steroid injections in my back. Most of you know that because, you know, I've had a hard time with it. And I am in so much pain, as you know, because I talk about it constantly. finally, I said, I got a recommendation. Go to New England Baptist in Boston. And I did. And this guy graduated from UC Irvine, maybe. Oh my God. And then he teaches in the Bahamas all the time. He's amazing. So anyway, I'm not going to mention my doctors here, but anyway, he said to me, you've been getting injected with painkillers and steroids for 16 years, and there's nothing wrong with your spine. So I burst out crying. I was with my mom. And yeah, so that's where I am right now. So he said there's nothing wrong with your spine. So now we are going to see, I'm going to someone else, and the doctor called me himself on his phone. It's amazing, because I don't know if anybody's watching, but I haven't had great experiences with the healthcare. And, you know, it can be frustrating when you're young and you have nothing wrong with you, but some people do have problems when they're young. So anyway, this is looking really nice. I went to the emergency room a couple weeks ago, and when they discharged me, it said, you saw Dr. Ball today? There was no Dr. Ball. Nothing. So, you know, that's another thing. You pay $1,000 just to walk in the door. So I'm kind of glad I don't have to do that for a job. But I'm a teacher, so, you know, I feel like I'm helping people. This is looking good. Again, you do not want the same color greens. You don't want the same color yellows. And remember, when the petal is getting the light, wherever the petal is turning is going to hit the light. It's just like when ladies get the highlights in the hair. You know what I mean? It hits the light, and it looks like you have pretty highlights. It looks really nice. Guys do it too. But anyway, also with the sunflower painting, you can turn it and say, you know what? It looks better like this, or it looks better like this. Usually a true artist, actually, sorry, I can't even remember. But most people know which way it was if you ask the artist. So I'm going to keep going. I would imagine they're going to be here soon. And hopefully they don't have to get on the road fast, because I want to go and take them out to Fork and Fire, which Kurt's been on the show. Everybody knows Kurt. Great guy. And actually, see what I mean? We were just saying, Owen and I, there's a lot of restaurants that are closed on Mondays. Another thing closed, hairdressers. You would never know unless you tried to book a hair appointment on a Monday. Maybe I just splattered it all over my phone, but I'll show you what you can do. This is why you want to have paper towels. So some people say, oh gosh, I ruined my phone, but really you didn't. And I just said I don't get any mess ever on my clothes or on my phone, nothing. But I did. And it was a good thing, because I found that leaf that kind of looked like a, I'm mic'd up, but I can go to the, I think I can go right up. Anyway, I found this. It fell off the plant behind me, or in one of those cabinets, and it's very similar to a sunflower leaf. So the center of it has a white line, and I'm going to do that because even when they get here, I'm still going to be excited that I had some of this done. So I'm going to take some of this white and some water, and I'm going to have to probably change the water by the next time too. It's awfully fun that we heard that our director, his grandfather paints. So I'm going to put these really white lines in that's kind of going to sort of look like it's part of the leaf part. And I can even add a little yellow with it so that it's like a yellowish white, as long as it's lighter than all of the other colors, because it's, you know, the middle of the thing coming down. It's like the middle of the leaf that has the, I don't even know what you call it. It looks like roads kind of going in the middle of the leaf. So you don't want a ton of those, because I don't want my picture being too, I want it a little abstract, you know, because it is a big painting. And it'll be really nice for like a sunroom or something. And if you haven't noticed, these girls going to the prom, oh, they looked gorgeous. But you know what's in? Flower. Floral dresses, floral everything. I couldn't believe it. I'm going to take a little bit of a smaller brush, and I'm going to try to go in on my edges, just a little different than what I was doing. I'll get some more white. Remember, white is going to make the colors lighter. I know that sounds crazy to say that, because most people know that. But, you know, you'd be surprised. A lot of people really don't know that. So, you know, you add a little white. Don't forget your water. My water's green, So I'm going to be careful because I really don't want any green in my whitish yellow. So I'm going to take this yellow over here and I'm going to make a really light yellow, and I'm going to kind of go where my sunflower would be hitting more light, which would be like here. And it's going to look really good when it's done because I get another episode, which we love to do a couple, you know, and it's a lot of fun. There's another lady that I noticed we were saying on the network. Nate and I were chatting earlier, and he said, I said, who is that gorgeous lady? He goes, well, she's on the same thing as you. I was like, oh, God. Then my daughter was doing someone's makeup. Nothing against if you're watching, sorry. My daughter was doing prom makeup, and I went to get her. And one of the other moms said, oh, you were the grandma? And I was like, oh, my God. So nothing, if you're watching, sorry, because I don't get offended like that, but oh, my gosh. So I just said, yes, yes, I'm the grandma. Oh, my God. So, you know, if anybody needs Botox, you know, if you feel bad for me about that, because, like, really. And I don't care, but still, the grandma, God. I don't think I look that old. But again, people wonder why all these ladies, like, go and get all this stuff done. Okay, my sunflowers are looking very pretty. I'm keeping, like, an orange edge going. You know, it looks really nice. And this will look really pretty. I wouldn't say like match all your bread spreads to this stuff because then it looks a little goofy, but it still, you know, looks really pretty, and it'll make a really nice present for somebody. I'm going to probably leave it for Cy when he gets here. And then when he leaves today, he'll have a nice sunflower painting. I know Post Malone sings a song called Sunflower. It was really, I forgot how it goes. Maybe he'll sing it when he gets here. That guy seems pretty nice, you know. I don't know if I'd tattoo my face, but that's his, you know, thing, you know. So you can't be mean because, you know, he likes it. But I don't know if I would do that to me. My sunflowers are looking great. The whole thing is I want them to look real, so I do not want them to be the same color, okay? I want them to vary. And anywhere where the leaves are, I'll fix those later. Thanks for tuning in. I'm so excited. We're going to film again in 2 more weeks, so anybody that wants to come on. Of course, the Bruins last night lost the dang Stanley Cup. Now they can't play. I think it was the Maple Leafs that took over, and we were not expecting that. But, you know, after a while, we actually were. And I don't watch, so I'm not acting like I know everything. But if you've ever watched my show on the Crack of Dawn, we have Coachy on from Bristol. And he is like a hockey fanatic. Seriously. Not even in a crazy way. He just is. It's crazy. He loves it. I think he watches, like, literally, like, if there's 8 hockey games on at the same time, he's got them all on and follows them all. And he had a show on Nutmeg TV called The Sportsman Show. And gosh, was that good. We had a ball. I don't think I was ever on his show. But he's been on my show, and he'll be on. He just said it's too much hockey. The Bruins got them all going, and so he's going to wait. So he'll be another guest soon. And then we have, we got a lot of guests. It's going to be a great time. And pretty soon, we're going to have them knocking on the door, coming in, and we're going to hear some great music. Dan Ringrose last week, you were a great, great guest to have on. I mean, that was a lot of fun. I thought that was great. Really had fun. Like I said, I've never been to a brewery, I don't think. Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. But anyway, I know there's a lot of them. And also, I don't know, like, do you bring food? Some places you do, some places you don't. The center of the sunflower is kind of brown in the middle, and then it gets kind of dabbity. So if you dab your brush, and it's called dry brush, let me show you how to do it. I'm going to take some yellow. Don't get any green in it, okay? I'm going to take some yellow. This is called dry brush, and I'm going to dry brush right outside of where the brown is, like this. And I think it will work, okay? And you're going to do it, no water on this, okay, because it's called dry brush. And you're just going to kind of dab that on there. Yeah, just dab that on. And it should look kind of real if you keep going around a little bit. So you want the different shades, okay, when you're doing this kind of thing. you want different shades, and you want it to look like there are seeds in there. So when you do something like this, it sort of looks more realistic. And it gives a great wall decor. You know, you can buy these things at TJ Maxx in the back or Home Goods, and you're thinking, you know what, I could make my own. You know, just watch my show, save it on your recorder thing, and then watch it again and again. You can always hit pause. You know, I'm pretty good at this stuff. And don't get discouraged because it dries super fast. So, you know, we've got 5 minutes left. It's a ton of time. I'm just going to try to make it look as good as I can so that when I'm talking to Elena and her son, Cy, when they get here, we'll have more to talk about than, you know, me worrying about if my painting's any good, because I'm trying to make it look good now. Yeah, so we don't have to worry. So I'm going to put some different lighter where the leaf is turning, okay? Because the light hits where it's turning. That's why people, when you're drawing a portrait with someone's nose, the lightest part of the skin is going to be on the top of the nose, the cheekbones, the bottom lip, because that's going to hit the light, but the top lip not so much. So, you know, it's a lot of fun, and, you know, I get good at it. After a while, I get really good at it. I'm going to put a couple different color yellows in here. This was a great idea, and it's funny because something about Cy saying something about sunflowers. He was going to sing a song about sunflowers, and I just happened to pick. I'm going in and putting a little bit more dark. I don't think I'm going to go back and look at the picture because it's looking pretty good to me. I'm figuring it out, okay? And it's looking good. It looks really good. And then when they come on, it's going to be fantastic. Oh my gosh, let me think of what else. Yes, so I'm thinking of maybe going to P-Town, Provincetown, Cape Cod. And I'm thinking if I head up in the morning at about 6 in the morning and I stay until about maybe 5, I can do maybe 1 to 2 paintings on the streets and sell them. And that will make me some good money. Again, I can paint live on the streets. And it's one of my most favorite things to do. People are like, aren't you nervous? Yeah, people make fun of me. Oh, she's not that good. You got to put up with it. It's like a baseball player or something. Everybody judges and you have to put up with it. So yes, I'm used to it. I don't get nervous anymore or mad. I'm a little bit going into where the stem would come out, and let me show you how to do it. And he's probably going to give me the 1-minute warning in a second. And you know what? If we run out of time and I keep babbling, it's just going to go in. So we don't care. The musicians coming on next are Elena Champa, and she comes from, oh God, Mattapoisett, no, Beverly, Massachusetts. Grew up there, went to private schools. Cy went to where I went to high school with his father. That's how I met them. And, you know, Northampton, like I said, was a great place to go to high school. Lots of artists. So when you're wondering, like, you know, how do you encourage your kid when he's like, you know, Mom, I want to be an artist like you and I want to play music? You know, I'm going to ask her that when she gets here. So I'm going to save that for later. Actually, I want to save this for later too, because I don't want to wreck it. Remember, when it looks the best, it's done. So a lot of times you're going to stop and you're going to say, you know what? And you know, as an artist, when it's done. You're just going to step back. Remember, when you're an artist, step back. Go back here. Looks way better far away than it does up close, just like people do. That's why they say when you go to the bar, did you meet her with the beer goggles on? I mean, I think that's a term. It's hilarious. But anyway, thanks for tuning in. I had a great time. Loved having Dan Ringrose on. And we will see you next time on the Crack of Dawn. Tune in. Call up Nutmeg TV if you want to be a guest. I'd love it.
Riverview Apartments is Bristol's 2-time beautification award-winning residence community for adults age 55 and older. They offer 1 or 2 bedroom apartments with modern appliances, air conditioning, wall-to-wall carpet, and tiled floors. Both heat and hot water are included. Riverview also offers a wide range of activity rooms that include a billiard parlor and a spacious community room. It is handicap accessible with safe, secure parking for tenants and ample off-street parking for visitors. 860-940-6757 or riverviewbristol.com.